If you're watching us on the old YouTube channel, you've got a Man United scarf on there.
I have, you know, the old Norwich scarf's out, Jamie. Norwich United scarf's out. But jokes aside, though, mate, we're watching the game there and we're like, you know what, Man United will get out of it. You know, they'll get a couple of late goals or they'll get a late winner. But today, justice. Because Manchester United this season, Jamie, have won games that have not deserved to win. Even the game against Aston Villa a couple of weeks ago didn't deserve to win. There's been games at home against Forest, against Wolves, Brentford, that they've got out of jail, as Manchester United do, last minute. Today, they got exactly what they deserved. I mean, some of the defending, some of the tracking back. Rashford didn't look like he was interested. Fernandes didn't look interested. And Fernandes, the cheek of that guy, was arguing with the referee after the game, Michael Oliver. The audacity. Should be arguing at himself in the mirror how poor he was. Yeah. The whole team, Varane was poor. Maguire wasn't at his best today. Dalot wasn't at his best.
Should have really been sent off.
Yeah, Garnacho wasn't at it today. You know, yes, Højlund's out. Everyone's got injuries. Manchester United today were a disgrace to that football club.
Rashford today, I think he's going to take a bit of stick for the performances that he put in. I said it to Adrian. I come on and had a chat with him about the little clip that was going viral all over social media last week with him and Ross Barkley, where Ross Barkley just kind of walks past him and he doesn't even bother to try and check and try and win a tackle. Today, mate, God, the amount of times he just walks around the football pitch. Gabs, come on. I mean, you know, do you know how hard it is to, you know, get tickets for games and how much money you have to spend to go and watch teams play now, Premier League football match, and you've got a player up front who, you know, is meant to be your star man, strolling around the football pitch. I sat there thinking, what's going on here? What's happened at Man United that this has become acceptable? It's allowed to happen. I don't understand it.
I don't
the
think
mentality.
But what I don't understand, Jamie, is like that performance was like, there's no leaders in that squad of players. You know, like, no one's having a go at each other. I mean, that clip of Rashford today where he loses the ball and just stands there and we're having a laugh and joke about, he's thinking of, like, what he's doing this evening. But it's not good enough. This is Manchester United. You know, talking about Radcliffe coming in and, we want to knock Man City off their perch and want to knock Liverpool. Yeah. All the best, mate.
Yeah, all the best.
Not with that group of players and financial fair play. Yeah. That was a disgraceful performance of Manchester United, one of the worst I've ever watched. And Fulham,
they were brilliant.
Let's go to Manchester and have a fun day out. Yeah. Let's go to Old Trafford and get on the ball and, you know, let's have a dance after we score. You know what I mean? Bassey's having fun after he scores and having a little, you know, teaching me how to Dougie. They were doing the dance. Deary me.
Right, well, let's go to some Man United fans. They're not happy. Let's go to Zeki's United fan. Right, Zeki?
Good evening, Zeki.
Good evening.
Zeki, first time caller. You've been to the game. Appreciate you phoning in. I mean, look, shocking that today, mate. Shocking.
Absolutely shocking. You know what? Every single one of them was an embarrassment today. Rashford walking, everyone walking around, sloppy passes, just an absolute disgrace.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're just nowhere near good enough. And what did you make of Rashford and the lack of trying?
I think Rasmus Højlund was a big miss today, and Rashford, he's not been good all season. He's been lazy. He's just not the same as last season. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about Højlund and say, we know we missed him today. All right, yeah, you've missed him a little bit, but you've still got Garnacho, Rashford, Fernandes, Casemiro, Varane. You know, come on. You're playing at home. You're fighting for top four. It's back on. Been in decent form, and then you put in a performance like that.
I also thought because Rasmus Højlund was out, it's forced Garnacho and Rashford to differ positions, which has made them. That's why we weren't as good attacking today. But I thought, even though they were still disgraceful, absolutely disgraceful, just throwing.
Zeki, what about the players like looking disinterested? I mean, you talk about Manchester United, and they should be doing everything they can to get into the top four. You know, Aston Villa winning today, it's back to 8 points. The players don't really look like they're interested.
Yeah, I thought there was a very select few players that actually looked like they could be bothered to be there. Mainly just the youth boys. A lot of them it looked like they couldn't give one. Absolute jokers.
Yeah, they were. Zeki, thanks for your call, mate. Let's go to Dan. He's a Fulham fan. Right, Dan?
Good evening, Dan.
All right, Dan. How you feeling after that?
Any chance of a bit of positivity, boys?
Oh, well, I mean, listen, Fulham...
Why is it always the bigger team, they've had a bad performance? No, Fulham were different gear today. Man United had about a 10-minute spell where they got back into the game. And listen, I thought like Fulham always go back, fall down, get beat 2-1. We've had such a bad run with Man United. But we've been the better team in the last 4 games. And obviously haven't got the result. But today we have. And I am absolutely buzzing. And it's not down to Man United being bad. It's down to Fulham really wanting that today. And for, like I say, for 80 minutes they were brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, they wanted it more than Man United.
So, of course they did, yeah, but they didn't let Man United play. No wonder the Man United players were getting the ump because they got outclassed.
Yeah,
It doesn't happen often. Listen, I'm not going to say Fulham are a better team. Of course, Man United are Man United, but on the day, Fulham were class, and it's about time we get a little bit of credit because we're having a good season. Marco Silva's doing what he's doing. He hasn't been supported by the Cons, but if we keep getting results like this, they have to get their wallet out and support him, and who knows what can happen, mate. But I'm absolutely buzzing.
Dan, we've got a Fulham fan in the studio, one of the producers, and he said that's the first time Fulham have beaten Manchester United at Old Trafford since 2003.
2003, and I was there that day. I'm not there today, but I was there in 2003, mate. And it's been a horrible place to go to. That's half the reason why I didn't go, because I'm still getting over the FA Cup game with Mitrovic. You know, we bossed them for 75 minutes, and then obviously what happened. But we, no, mate, honestly, unbelievable today. And the tides are turning. We've had a terrible record at Man United, at Everton, and we're starting to pick up results at places we don't normally. So bring on next season, that's what I say.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan, top man, mate. Thanks for your call. Let's go to Darren. He's an Aston Villa fan. All right, Daz?
Go on, Darren.
Hello, how you doing?
Let's go.
I'm all right, Daz. How you feeling?
Oh, well, first of all, Gabby, you're a legend, mate.
Oh, God, come on, mate. Let's not go that far, eh? Let's not go that far, yeah?
Let's say a big hello to Gary Neville as well.
As long as the stadium gets fixed, the roof, they'll be fine, mate. They like to keep dry Manchester games, but
they've got 70,000
exactly.
Goals,
but let's talk about Aston Villa, mate. Today, watching the game, luckily in the studio, to me, it's a team that all season look organised, playing exactly how the manager wants them to play. Was an impressive win today, wasn't it, mate?
Yeah, I think their 2 goals were against a run of play, actually. I think it was less of a concern than it probably appeared at the time. We just went for their throat to begin with. It looked like us prior to, I think, back to before the Sheffield United game.
Yes.
When we were in full flow. I honestly think, you know, I'm one of the ones that was hands up will say I didn't believe it. I mean, my missus had a £5 free bet on Villa to win the league this season. Obviously, that ain't going to happen. But she was like refusing to cash out. But to be fair, you know,
what a waste of £5.
You know what though, Darren? Darren, when you look at Villa now, Darren, you know Spurs have got a game in hand, which is going to be Chelsea. It's going to be played in a few weeks' time, midweek. Manchester United 8 points behind us now. The pressure's not on Villa to finish in the top 4. The pressure's on Spurs and Manchester United.
Yeah, of course. I mean, well, you think about it, Gabs. I mean, we're 21 goal difference above Man United, so it's technically 9 points.
Exactly.
So, you know, I think we're definitely now within a shout. I think people might disagree with me. I think we've got a favourable draw in the Conference League. And Pau Torres is such a difference. It was only 1/2 today, but you can see the difference in that guy.
Yeah, and Chambers coming on.
Moreno gets booked, on comes Luca Dean, and to be fair to Luca Dean, he come under a lot of criticism last season. I think he's been brilliant whenever he's played this season.
Darren, we're flying, mate. Up the Villa, Darren.
Yeah, you're doing all right.
Up the Villa.
You're doing all right. You're doing all right. Fair play to you. Dad's a top man, mate. Thanks for your call. Get back to being a granddad.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.